Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Got a lot of games to cover. Let's get at it. In our first game this week, we had the Raiders come away with a 2-point nail-biting win. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Mark Word will have a new place to call home as he accepts a new contract, 2 years, $2.2 million. Josh McCown is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 4 years, $3.9 million, plus a $1.1 million signing bonus. D.D. Lewis will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Bears.
Keenan McCardell stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Reggie Wayne pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Colts beat the Jaguars. Down in the sunny skies of Arizona, we had the Cardinals squeak to a 1-point victory. Over at Lincoln Financial Field, we had the Eagles squeak to a 1-point victory. The Rams defense came away with 3 turnovers in their victory at Lambeau Field. Broncos, Bengals. Corin Robinson is split out at the 3-yard line and takes the quick hitch, touchdown. The Bengals go on to win this by the final score of 24-13. The Panthers won on the road and will now head home to meet the Bengals. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. Hampton sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. A hairline fracture of the arm is the initial report, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for 15 weeks. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. L.J. Smith might be the biggest loss on this list. He'll be out for the rest of the season. Now we'll move on to our top story of the day. Deshaun Foster will be on the sidelines for a while, and that is not good news for his club. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
Andre Johnson hauled in over 150 yards receiving and helped his Texans beat the Chargers.
So we have breaking news here today on SportsCenter, as there has been a released player and a signed player over the week 1. As the Chargers have released Doug Chapman from his contract, as Chapman, who was playing in as a backup role with the Chargers, signed over last year actually. After Latavian Tomlinson going down, the Chargers GM decided that it just wasn't working. They needed somebody else in there to help them, and Chapman was not doing the job. With LT being out, as long as he's going to be out, they needed to find someone else who could get the job done, and unfortunately, Chapman wasn't getting the job done. Chapman was going to be getting owed about $2 million, but they just figured that he wasn't meeting up to their contract standards. They decided that it'd be better if they just let him go. So they ended up releasing Doug Chapman from his contract today after the week 1 game. His replacement is going to be Travis Minor, who they have signed for 2 years, $1.12 million. It's a prove-it type deal. If they like what they're seeing from him, they'll keep him for another year and go further with that. But they're going to give him a prove-it type deal, see what he can do for them. With Latavian Tomlinson being out, they're going to see if this will spark the team's offense, as they started off sluggish, couldn't get much running game going on. So they're hoping Travis Minor, who did not sign with the Dolphins this year, did not have many offers coming into free agency. They're hoping that maybe this will give him the spark that he needs, give him a push, and hopefully be that spark plug that they need. We don't know yet. After only 1 week, the Chargers are in panic mode, but hopefully this signing will be at least a ease period for them, and maybe Travis Minor will show them something and hopefully not scare themselves out as Latavian Tomlinson recovers from his injury.
James Hall stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Up in historical New England, we had the Patriots get edged out by 2 points. Jets, Bills. Travis Henry is
taking a look at the defense behind the quarterback at his own 14-yard line. Whoop! There he goes with a beautiful spin. Celebrate a touchdown.
The Bills win this one by the final score of 17-0. Over at the Cleveland Browns Stadium, we had the Browns lose by a narrow 5-point margin. The Seahawks got 300-plus yards from their offense in their victory at Seattle Stadium. The Ravens won decisively at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Dolphins. And last but not least, we had the Bears come away victorious. So, as usual, plenty of surprises around the NFL. And heck, we just got into week 1. My primetime players' game balls go out to these gentlemen, each one with a fine start to the season. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.